Legend Mick Foley, and you are watching C-RadTV here, right here on YouTube. Have a nice day.
This is Cody Diener, and you are watching C-RadTV on YouTube. And just like Cody Diener, C-RadTV lives by two simple words. Just give her, yeah.
How's it going, guys? It's Brad C at the WWE Monday Night Raw review from May 20th. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we start off Raw with Mr. Money in the Bank, Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman coming out to the ring. Of course, when Brock comes out with the briefcase, Brock holds it like it's a beatbox because Brock be like, "Hey, boy, I reckon I'm gonna hold this briefcase like it's a beatbox. Because I reckon the music playing the beatbox is a lot better than this shitty-ass music these kids listen to nowadays. So Brock and Paul come out to the ring. Paul does his normal introduction. Paul then goes on and shuts down all the conspiracy theories about Brock possibly attacking Sami Zayn to take Sami's spot at Money in the Bank Sunday. And then Paul goes on and says it's impossible to sneak Brock into the XL Center. Bullshit, Paul. It is not impossible. There's no such thing as impossible. Don't feed me that bullshit. So then Paul goes on and says everyone should blame Brock for the assassination of John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy is irrelevant to this situation. So then Paul goes on and he calls Brock Lesnar the greatest assassin in WWE history. More like the laziest piece of shit in WWE history since he rarely shows up. So then Paul goes on and says that Seth and Rollins and Kofi Kingston should be paranoid of Brock Lesnar. And then Paul goes on and says that he'd rather have to face the whole world head on than to face Brock Lesnar head on. So they have it. Brock Lesnar is apparently better than the rest of the world. So then Seth Rollins' music hits and Seth Rollins comes out to the ring, the Universal Champion. Seth goes on and says that he's trying to be the champion that Brock Lesnar never had the guts to be, but can't with Lesnar holding the Money in the Bank contract. So Seth goes on and he challenges Brock to cash in his contract tonight on Seth Rollins. So when Brock was thinking about it, Paul then tells Brock to not be encouraged. And then Paul says that Brock will cash in when he feels like it. So it won't be for a couple months, it's when Brock wants to show up again. So it's going to be Brock's title reign all over again. Wonderful. So then Paul goes on and then takes a shot at Seth Rollins' girlfriend, Becky Lynch. Because he mentioned that Seth had to wait 7 hours to watch his girlfriend compete. Because Brock Lesnar didn't want to wait 7 hours to compete at WrestleMania. I'll say this here, Brock, like I said in the Mania review. If you have a problem waiting for your turn to compete, then vacate the title, go home, never come back, you lazy fuck. So then after that, Seth and Brock then go face to face. Paul then goes on and says that Seth isn't worthy of being cashed in on by Brock Lesnar. And then Paul says Brock could possibly cash in on the WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston. So then Kofi Kingston's music hits and the WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston, comes out. So Kofi once again takes advantage of the wildcard rule. Kofi goes on, he says that he's trying to establish his legacy as WWE Champion, but he can't unless he faces the best of the best. So then Kofi says that Brock should cash in on him. Then Paul goes on and says that Seth and Kofi are now auditioning to be facing Lesnar and get cashed in on. Then Paul goes on and says that Kofi and Seth aren't done yet. And then Paul says that Brock is going nowhere and is going to stick around tonight. And that the Beast is yet to come and to stay tuned. So Beast, he just replaced Best with Beast. So yeah, Brock Lesnar's going to stick around instead of just take the paycheck and go home. He'll actually wait 3 hours. Huh. How come you couldn't win at WrestleMania, you lazy bitch? But anyway, let's just continue on. So next up, we get a one-on-one match. We get Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. So before the match, right as the bell was about to ring, Sami gets out of the ring and then runs straight into the crowd. Braun goes in the crowd and chases Sami all the way to the backstage area. So Sami goes, he hides, Braun comes running. Braun then runs into Bobby Lashley. They both have a little face-to-face segment, since Braun Strowman will be facing Bobby Lashley at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia in a couple weeks. So while Braun is staring at Bobby Lashley, Sammy goes in and he sucker punches Braun for a pre-match assault. Sammy tries to get an upper hand, but Braun grabs Sammy and ragdolls him into one of the production cases. So then Braun goes, he chases Sammy onto the stage, and then grabs Sammy and drags him to the ring. Sammy then goes and pushes Braun into the ring post 2 times. Braun would reverse the third attempt to throw Sammy into the barricade. Braun would throw Sammy in the ring. Sammy would sidestep Braun, and Braun would run to the shoulder. Run into the ring post shoulder first. So then the bell would ring. Highlights of the match. Braun would counter the haluva kick with a running clothesline. Braun then does the drive-by shoulder tackle. Leads to the match ending. Braun hits the running power slam. Braun gets a 3 count for the win. So effectively, this became a squash match. Okay, wonderful. So let us continue on. So next up, we get an in-ring interview with Charlie Caruso, where Charlie is going to be interviewing Lars Sullivan. So when Lars Sullivan's music hits and Lars comes out to the ring, we first take a look at Lars' path of destruction since he came to the main roster last year. So we're going to hear Lars Sullivan cut a promo. How will he do? Let's find out. So before Lars could even say one word, the Lucha House Party's music hits, and the Lucha House Party, Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado come out. All 3 go and attack Lars Sullivan, starting a brawl. All 3 would hit missile drop kicks, all at the same time to knock Lars Sullivan out of the ring. So then when they continued to go after Lars would then go and destroy all 3. Lars goes, he hits the freak accident on Lince Dorado. And as Lars is about to hit the running power bomb on Lince, Kalisto and Gran Metalik would grab Lince and then pull him out of the ring, and then they retreat to avoid it. Yet, well, you came to attack Lars Sullivan, and in the end, you all got your asses kicked. Was it worth it? Probably not. So let's move on. Next up, we get a one-on-one match. We get Ricochet versus Cesaro. Highlights of the match. Cesaro's overhead back body drop was good along with Ricochet's moonsault. Cesaro's twisting body slam on the apron to counter a crossbody dive, pretty well done, along with Ricochet's jawbreaker. Ricochet's head scissor was good along with his twisting cannonball dive. Cesaro's uppercuts throughout the match are good along with his torture rack into a backbreaker. Match ending, Cesaro hits the Gotch neutralizer. Cesaro gets the 3 count for the win. So Cesaro is building some momentum, because it looks like Cesaro is back to being a singles competitor again, because Sheamus' career is pretty much over, and that one, the tag team, The Bar. Because for anyone that doesn't know, Sheamus has an injury. This is a serious one. This one is known as cervical spinal stenosis. For anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's the same injury that ended Edge's career and it ended Paige's career. So yeah, it's a spine injury. One of the things about cervical spinal stenosis is that if you compete in one more match, you could be risking paralysis and even in some cases death. So yeah, it's safe to say Sheamus is pretty much being forced to retire now. Too bad. Sheamus had a pretty decent career. Possibly maybe a Hall of Famer one day. We'll have to see. But yeah. So yeah, Cesaro's back to being a singles competitor. Now, if Cesaro doesn't get a singles title in 2019, I'm going to flip shit. But let us continue on. So next up, we get a segment. We have Boring Fuckface's music hits, and Boring Fuckface Roman Reigns comes out. Same boring entrance as before. And of course, it was a 50-50 crowd reaction. There were cheers and boos in the crowd. So then Roman comes out the ring. Before Roman can even say one word, Shane McMahon's music hits, and then Shane comes out to the ring. So Shane doesn't prevents Roman from speaking at the time. So Shane goes on and says that the yard's big compared to being the best in America. Shane then goes on and says that he's done with The Miz. I call bullshit. You're not done with The Miz, not even close. So Shane goes on and says that his focus turns to Roman. And then Shane calls Roman a coward for striking Vince. I mean, he's not wrong. Roman is a coward for striking a 73-year-old man to make a first impression. Yeah, Roman, you really made a first impression knocking out a 73-year-old man. That's really fucking impressive, you dumb fuck. So then, Roman Reigns, I hate spoiled rich kids. Oh. Anyone not see the fucking irony in that? Roman says he hates rich kids. Irony, Roman. You're pretty much a rich kid too, motherfucker. Like your father, you're like what, second, third generation? Your father was part of Wild Samoans. Your cousins are the Usos, The Rock, and Nia Jax. You're a rich kid too, Roman. Shut the fuck up. Roman Reigns, I'm done with Elias. No, you're not, Roman. Your shovel with Elias is only beginning. Don't feed me that bullshit. You can't lie to me, asshole. Roman Reigns, my schedule is open. Wide open. So then Shane goes on and says that Elias ain't down with Roman and that one fluke victory doesn't prove anything. Yeah, it doesn't prove anything. Hell, one squash win against Elias does not prove that it's Roman's yard. Roman's gonna need a lot more than that. Roman Reigns, Elias ain't here tonight. Roman Reigns, if we got beef, let's squash it tonight. Roman, you always got fucking beef with everybody. Shut up. So then Shane goes on and asks if the fans want to see Roman and Reigns versus Shane McMahon tonight. And then Shane denies it. Then Shane goes on and says that he controls his destiny. And then Shane once again says that he's Roman's boss. No you're not. That's actually Vince McMahon. Vince is Roman's boss, not you, because Roman is Vince's boy. So then Shane goes on and says that from now on, anyone that has a problem with him have to go through Drew McIntyre. And then Drew McIntyre comes out. And then Shane goes on and says that he accepts Roman's challenge at Super Showdown. So at Super Showdown, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon. Oh god, that matchup's going to suck ass. And then Shane tells Roman will see why he's the best in America. And then Roman Reigns, after Super Showdown, you're going to be saying, I got my ass kicked by Roman Reigns. Believe that. Oh, so the Saints now back to believe that. So here's a cycle. We went from believe that to one versus all, back to believe that, to Roman Empire, to Ashes from Empire, to This Is My Yard now, to the Big Dog, to This Is Our Yard now, back to This Is My Yard now, back to the Big Dog Unleashed, and now we're back to believe that. The cycle, Roman Reigns catchphrases, folks. I just explained pretty much 4 or 5 years in like less than a minute. There you go. So continuing on, next up we get a tag team match. We get the Usos, Jimmy and Jay versus Revival. Oh, by the way, for Money in the Bank, I fucked up reading it. The matchup between the Usos and Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan were a non-title match. That match still should have been on the main card and not the pre-show. But it was a non-title match, so the Usos are not tag team champions. Brand split still doesn't mean jack shit now. You may as well end it. So Usos and Revival come in the ring, but before the match, Dash will go and attack Jey Uso from behind for a pre-match assault. And then we find out the match did start, but the bell never rang. But you know what? Since we didn't know that till like a few seconds after that, I'm still going to classify it as pre-match assault. So highlights the match. Revival's double team leg drop was pretty good, along with dashes and Scotch strikes. Revival's vertical double team vertical suplex is good, along with the Usos' low super kicks. Jimmy's spin kick was good, along with Jay's 2 Samoan drops. Jay's Rikishi hip attack splash in the corner was pretty well done, along with his crossbody. Revival's powerbomb elbow drop combo was pretty well done. Then Jay, at a key point in the match, Jay would then go on and call Scott Dawson a bitch. Oh, he said bitch. He said bitch. Watch out, we got a badass over here. The Usos double team super kicks are good, along with Dash's tornado DDT off the barricade. Jimmy's suicide dive was good, along with his overhead back body drop. Leads to the match ending. Scott would roll up Jimmy Uso. Scott would grab a fistful of tights. Scott Dawson gets the 3 count for the win. So the Revival gets some payback after being humiliated the last couple weeks over that whole back shaving thing. Well, part of that whole thing is that since the Revival was leaving in 2020, in the spring of 2020, the WWE is going to make the Revival look like shit. So I guess it's punishment time. But at least this week they are given a break. So then after that, we then go and get another Firefly shithouse segment, where Bray Wyatt has now gone to his dark side, as Bray is now telling everyone to let him in. Easy, Bray, easy. This is a PG show, easy. Easy, don't send the wrong message to the children. Let me in can mean a lot of different things. Don't send the wrong message, Bray. Easy, Tiger, easy. So then after that, we then get to a segment called A Moment of Bliss with Alexa Bliss and her special guest, Nikki Cross. But the real special guest in this is Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. And yes, Becky Lynch only has 1 title, so Becky 2 belts is no more. It's now just Becky 1 belt. So Alexa goes on and then requests for her coffee to come out first since they didn't get it out in time. Because it ain't a talk show without having that cup of coffee. So then Nikki goes on, she gets too close to Alexa's liking and tells Nikki to back off. So then before Becky could even say a word, the Iconics would then come out, the women's tag team champions, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Iconics go on, they mock Becky's 2 belts catchphrase. Becky then goes on and then says that she defended her titles more in one night than the Iconics have in their entire reign. That is correct, because she did have 2 title defenses. The Iconics have only had 1. And that was the Raw after WrestleMania, when their only successful defense was against local jobbers. And oh, by the way, it's been a month. Iconics, you gonna defend those titles anytime soon? How come you weren't defending your titles at fucking Money in the Bank? So then Becky goes on and says that she could beat both Billie and Peyton for their titles, then proposes Becky 3 belts. Well, we gotta 1-up 2 belts somehow. So then Lacey Evans' music hits and Lacey Evans comes out. And Lacey goes on and says that Becky only has 1 belt because of her. And then Becky goes on and says that Lacey wears her grandma's clothes. That sounded weak, bro. So then Becky goes on and says that she'll slap all 3 of them. So Becky is proposing a 6-women tag match. Nikki Cross then goes up to Becky and says that she'll be her partner, because Nikki wants to play. So then Becky goes on and says that Alexa Bliss can join her team too, and then tells Alexa to just look pretty and the man will do the rest. So we get an impromptu 6-women tag match. We get the match after commercial break. So to the match, highlights of the match. Throughout this match, Alexa was just watching from the apron, sipping her coffee. Highlights, Becky's drop toe hold was good along with Nikki's basement drop kick. Nikki's running bulldog and her springboard drop kick was good along with her crossbody. Lacey would then go, she'd throw a napkin at Becky Lynch. So Lacey is a dick to napkins. Lacey's muckle buster in the corner was good. Becky hits a drop kick and then Lacey Evans then leaves, so the matchup becomes, well, with Alexa on the apron, it was pretty much turned into a 3-on-2 handicap match. Now the ending's a tag team match. So to the ending, Becky gets the Bexplex. Becky hits the missile drop kick. When she hits the missile drop kick, she yelled at Billie Kay to come closer. So Billie Kay did not know her positioning correctly. I guarantee you there's going to be a video about it by the Botch Guy. Please check out the Botch Guy. It's actually a pretty good channel. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting episode of the Botch Guy coming up, where he's about to roast the shit out of Billie Kay for being the dumbest motherfucker in the ring. So match ending, Becky then goes, she gets the 3 count on Billie Kay for the win. Weird ass ending. Like, it was a fucking weird ending. So yeah, weird ass match. So Becky stands tall, but Becky wouldn't even stay in the ring long to celebrate with Nikki and Alexa, because Becky would then leave the ring. Because Becky still has some unfinished business with Lacey Evans to attend to. But continuing on, we then find out that next week we will get a status on the state of the United States Championship following Money in the Bank, with renewed United States Champion Rey Mysterio. But continuing on, next up, Mick Foley's music hits, and then Mick Foley comes out. So Mick comes out, he says that he's here to unveil the newest title to WWE. Because that's what we need right now. Another title that's gonna mean fucking nothing. So then Mick goes on and says that we need to be Raw again. Easy, Mick. Easy. This is a PG show. Easy. Keep your fetishes to yourself. Easy, man. We're not supposed to be going 14A till October. Easy, man. Easy. Too soon. So Mick goes on and says that a title is something you breathe him to be excited about. Yet in WWE, a title pretty much now has about as much value as a fucking replica belt. And that should not be the case. And pretty much titles mean fucking nothing. Hell, WWE even went in an interview and said that being a champion means nothing in WWE. Which is why the Iconics have been poorly booked. So that is enough evidence to prove how much of a shit show this company has become. So Mick says that this new title will be defended 24/7, anytime, anywhere. So Mick pulls the new title out of the bag and unveils the new championship, which will be called the 24/7 Championship. I'll show a picture on the screen here to show this new title. So honestly, this title design, it's meh. I mean, it's not 100% terrible, but it doesn't look good. They could have done better with the design. And 24/7, they couldn't come up with a better name than that. Like, I know they can't use the word hardcore because, it's a PG show, but fuck me, you could have come up with something better than that. But yeah, pretty much 24/7 title. So in a weird way, the hardcore title, the hardcore championship from 20 years ago, it is being reborn as the 24/7 championship. So Mick says that you never take a day off as the 24/7 champion as long as a referee is around. And then Mick says any match involving the 24/7 championship is always contested under Falls Count Anywhere rules. So anytime, anywhere. So Mick Foley said that if you're on a golf course and someone wants to take the 24/7 title from you, they can as long as there is a referee near. Or say you're at a Starbucks and you want to take the title, you can do that. As long as there's a referee near, or a McDonald's, or a Burger King, or a mall. Or hell, if you go to like a football game, or a baseball game, or a hockey game, you can take the title off them, as long as there's a referee near. Or even at a fucking Chuck E. Cheese. But you get the idea. So then Mick goes on and says that this title is open to everyone on all rosters. So he says it's open to everyone on Raw, open to everyone on SmackDown, open to everybody on 205 Live, on NXT, and NXT UK. So this title is going to go all over the goddamn place. So then Mick says the title will start tonight in a title scramble. So Mick Foley then leaves the title in the ring and says that anybody that wants the title, run out and come get it. So then Mick has the bell ring. As soon as the bell rings, Cedric Alexander, EC3, Mojo Rawley, Eric Young, Titus O'Neil, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Noah Hills, they all run out to try and get the title. All of them are brawling to try and get that title because first person to get their hands on it wins the match. Will become the first champion. So then Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson both grab the title at the same time. Both argue over it, telling each other to let go. They both get attacked from behind, so both of them end up dropping at the same time too, so no one's champion yet. So then Drake Maverick sneaks out from the crowd and under the ring, and Drake tries to get the title. Titus puts his foot down on the title to prevent Drake from grabbing it. Titus grabs Drake, he throws Drake Maverick into everybody. Then Titus grabs the title to win. So Titus O'Neil is your new 24/7 champion. Oh my god, it happened. Titus O'Neil has done it. The Botch King has officially won a singles title. Well done. Maybe now you can finally pass your Botch King torch on to somebody else. But this celebration was short-lived, because while Titus O'Neil was posing with the title on stage, Robert Roode would come up from behind and roll up Titus O'Neil. And then Robert Roode gets the 3 count, and now Robert Roode is your new 24/7 champion. So then right after that, Robert goes, he then runs and hides from everybody throughout the night while holding the 24/7 title, since the title can change anytime, anywhere. You now gotta have eyes in the back of your head. But we'll revisit that in a little bit, because it's a good feeling. We're not gonna be done with that. So yeah, see everybody, you like games of hot potato with titles? Guess what? This title is pretty much gonna turn into one giant-ass game of hot potato 24/7. And Mick Foley forgot to mention the 365 a year part. But continuing on, next up, we get a one-on-one match. We get Miz versus Drew McIntyre. Highlights in the match: Miz's jawbreaker was good along with his low drop kick. Drew's overhead belly to belly was good along with a standing suplex. Miz's leg sweep on the apron was good along with Drew's side slam on the barricade. Drew's standing suplex is good along with Miz's sunset flip powerbomb. Miz's it kicks were good along with his Hurricane Rana. Yes, he hit a Hurricane Rana. When was the last time that happened? It was a few years ago. Drew's reverse Alabama slam was good. So while the ref wasn't looking, Shane would then go and strike the Miz. Miz would then hit a figure 4 leg lock on Drew, but Drew would power out of it. Miz's running drop kick through the ropes were good. Shane then goes and runs through the crowd when Miz goes after him. So then went to the match ending while the ref was once again distracted with Drew. Shane would go to attack the Miz, throwing Miz into the steps. Miz throws Miz back in the ring. So then Drew goes, he hits the Claymore on Miz. Drew gets the 3 count of the win. So then after the match, Shane goes on and says that he has one last parting gift for Miz. So Drew grabs Miz, puts him in the corner, and Shane is getting ready to hit a coast-to-coast on Miz. But before Shane could, Boring Fuckface's music hits, and then Boring Fuckface runs out. Roman gets in the ring. Roman hits a stupid man punch on Drew McIntyre for post-match assault. And then Shane McMahon retreats, as Roman is standing tall. But at Super Showdown, Shane will have nowhere to run again. But yeah, we'll continue on. So then before we get to our main event, we then find out in Robert Roode's running away with the 24/7 title. Robert Roode would find R-Truth, and he'd ask R-Truth to hide him. R-Truth then tells Rob to get in the back of his car, in the trunk. So Rob gets in the trunk, Truth shuts it. Truth then tells the rest of the roster he went the other way. Honestly, I feel like this title is just for only the jobbers and the mid-carders to, make them feel relevant. So then R-Truth lets Robert Roode out of the car and says that Rob can hitch a ride with him in the car. So as Rob's about to get in the passenger seat, he opens the door and then a referee comes out. Yep, you know what's coming. R-Truth then hits a kick on Robert Roode. Truth throws Rob into the car. Truth rolls up Robert. R-Truth gets the 3 count for the win. R-Truth is now your new 24/7 champion. So then R-Truth goes, he gets in his car and then leaves the arena. So we're gonna see, we're gonna see this title again on SmackDown. So yeah, first night, this new title, and we had already 3 title changes in one night. Yep, we're about to see a game of hot potato that we've never seen before. So next up, we get to our main event. We get WWE Champion Kofi Kingston and Universal Champion Seth Rollins against Boring Corbin and Bobby Lashley. So before the match, Baron and Bobby would go and attack Seth and Kofi on the stage for pre-match assault. They would eventually end up going back to the ring to get the match underway. So highlights of the match: Baron's deep sixes good along with sets and Sagiri. Kofi's springboard clothesline was good along with his drop kick and boom drop. We then find out midway during the match that the match was actually a no disqualification tag team match. Oh look, so we're just making them up as we go along. Kofi's springboard crossbody was good along with Seth's swing blade. Baron's choke slam on the apron to counter Seth's suicide dive was pretty good. I'll give Baron kudos there. Baron's choke slam backbreaker was also good, so Baron learned another move. Seth's chair shots were good along with his enziguri, followed by a springboard knee. Kofi would then botch throwing Bobby over the top rope. Kofi would need a second attempt to do that. Man, the botch guy is going to be busy tonight. Man, he's going to be working overtime tonight. Damn. So Seth then hits the suicide dive, and then Kofi hits a dive of his own. Leads to the match ending. Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise on Baron Corbin. Kofi gets the 3 count for the win. But after the match, celebration will be short-lived because Bobby would hit a spear on Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins for post-match assault. Seth would then get back up, and then he hit the super kick on Bobby Lashley. So then after that, Brock Lesnar's music hits, and Brock Lesnar comes out with the contract. So Brock circles around the ring, teases going in the ring, and then leaves. And then Paul Heyman says that they will announce who Brock will cash in on next week on Raw. So we'll find out which title Brock will be going for, and that's how we end Raw. Well, if you believe the rumors are that Brock's supposed to be going for the Universal title, so it looks like Kofi can be safe and continue his legacy. But overall, this Raw was pretty trash. So, 2 out of 10 for my final rating for Raw. Brock Lesnar actually showed up for work because the price was right in Albany, New York. And I guess price is right will be right next week. But you know what? We'll see who Brock is going to cash in on officially next week. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for this Raw review. More hot potato title games coming up. But yeah, hope everyone's a great day and peace out.